Greetings. ZARyan bring words of encouragement once again. And our topic today is entitled God's people make a difference when they are humble Christians. Brothers and sisters, it is important to know that in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 13 and 14, that God's people will only make a difference when they are the salt of the earth, or I should say, when they realize that they are the salt of the earth. God's people will make a difference when they realize that they are the light of the world, especially in verse 14, where it continues to say that these people who are the light of the world is like a city that is set on a hill which cannot be hid. Brothers and sisters, it is important to know that in the book of James chapter 4 and verse 10, that those who will make a difference are humble people. It says there in James 4 and verse 10, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. In the book of Luke also, verses 14 and verse 11, it tells us there that whosoever exalted himself shall be abased. That simply means to be humbled. But whosoever humbled himself, the Bible continues to say, shall be exalted. We do seek and do encourage for the latter, that we humble ourselves, that God will indeed lift us up so that we can spread this gospel message abroad. Now, I would like to share with you a quote taken from the book Review and Herald, August 22nd, August 22nd, the year 1899, it was written, and it says, in his teachings, that's Christ likened his disciples to the most familiar to them, objects that are most familiar to them. He compared them to salt and light. He said to them, ye are the light of the world and the salt of the earth. He said these words were spoken to a few poor, humble fishermen. Priests and rabbis were in that congregation of hearers, but these were not the ones addressed. With all their learning, these priests and rabbis, with all their supposed instruction in the mysteries of the law, with all their claims of knowing God, they revealed that they knew him not. These leading men had been committed the oracles of God, but Christ declared them to be unsafe teachers. Friends, these priests and rabbis, although they had all knowledge of the law, but still yet knew not who Jesus Christ is. Friends, we cannot afford to go out that line. We have to walk the line that tells us that those who will make a difference will be humble, allowing Christ to come in their hearts and to lift up the standard of righteousness. No, the reading continues. It says, he said to them, ye teach for doctrines the commandments of men, and ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. Turning from these men to the humblest of fishermen, Christ said, ye are the salt of the earth. Brothers and sisters, my encouragement today, that we come as Christians to make a difference when we are humble, when we realize our duty as Christians to be salts of the earth and also lights of the world. Again, this is ZARyan bringing to you words of encouragement. Remember, you only make a difference as a Christian when you are humble, when we are humble and humble ourselves before the Lord. ZARyan, words of encouragement. God bless.